Hi, I'm Queenie Yu from Bullet Point News. Joining me today is Trevor Sean from Bakerhill Construction. Trevor, welcome to Bullet Point News.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. Trevor, there are many horror stories about renovations. Could you talk about them and how you got into the industry?
That is precisely why I got into the industry. I was a framer subtrade for many years, and I watched the horror stories with the different PMs and GCs that I worked for unfold before my eyes. And I had a hard time keeping my mouth shut when it was a slight tweak in process or telling the customer something a little bit different. And I just found the best way for me to help people was to step out of the sub trade, kind of just being a framer and becoming more of a project manager or a general contractor. And it kind of just exploded from there. So that's the origin story, but it all happened with some of those horror stories you hear about.
If I want to renovate my house without hiring an architect, what would the design process be?
Hmm. Well, I encourage homeowners to do as much homework as they can. And the internet is an incredible resource. You've got Style at Home, you've got house.com, you've got YouTube, and it just takes time. Invest time into identifying what you want your home to look like, um, listening to others talk about construction, listening to others designers talk about it. And the more informed you are as a homeowner, then when you go to meet the various general contractors that are out there, the different project managers that are out there, you can be that much more informed and really have a formulated opinion to some degree of what you like and dislike. So the more informed you can become, the better. If you don't have time for that, and life is busy, and I totally get that, then find um, I'd say a general contractor like us, like Bakerhill, to help with the design phase at the beginning, at inception, to walk alongside of you to help understand what the tile selections will be, what the hardwood selections will be, all that base bone, big kind of foundational work that goes into design. So, um, but doing as much pre-homework as possible is the key.
What are some of the most common problems a homeowner can encounter if they don't hire the right professionals to do their renovations?
Well, I think you can sum it up with expectations. So you've got two very different people entering into a brand new relationship. You've got a homeowner and you've got a general contractor. And the general contractor has different ideas about what the homeowner needs, and the homeowner has different ideas about what they need. And so when expectations aren't aligned, that's when things can quickly unravel. And when a renovator or a general contractor um, doesn't have the patience to understand why things are unraveling in the moment, then I mean, we call them horror stories, but then um, the bad things can begin to happen. So my advice for everyone is always to set expectations accurately. And with our team, when we initially meet people, just understand what their needs are and set expectations accurately so we know what the targets are and how to set and manage expectations. Um, that would be my best advice.
What types of renovations do you do most of?
Residential. We do a lot of bathrooms, a lot of kitchens, a lot of entire main floors. When the budget allows for not just a kitchen, but an entire main floor renovation, then you have the opportunity for continuity of style, of color palettes, of accent colors or flooring over here that has continuity with, say, design palette at the other end of the home. So I would say our power zone or sweet spot and the best bang for the buck for the homeowner would be an entire main floor reno where you can pick and choose the different elements of your powder room, of your kitchen, of your countertops, of your paint, and ensure that it all dovetails together in a symphony of design.
There are many different factors in doing a home renovation: design, choosing the right professionals,
Mhm.
construction. How does Baker Hill manage all that?
Well, the it all starts with a strong working relationship. So when we meet someone, we ensure that there's a fit, and relationally, make sure there's a connection. Make sure there's some strong trust that can be that's built quickly. And when you've got a strong working relationship, then understanding the design and fulfilling it becomes that much more easy. So I would say one of the keys to our success, or key to any successful renovation, is that initial relationship. You've got to have a strong relationship. You're in deep with whomever you decide to work with, and you need to trust them. You need to really understand each other well. So it's all about relationship.
Why is trust so important?
Well, it's your number one asset, and if you trust someone that may not have the experience they should to begin opening things up and begin recommending where to put wires, where to put plumbing, someone that may not have the background necessary to install these things correctly, when you put it all back together, you can have a real problem on your hands. So there's trust on the construction side that's important, so your house comes back together properly. And then there's trust on the relationship or billing side of things, so that you can believe what bills you're being given, and not be concerned that something is happening that shouldn't be. So trust is the foundation of any good relationship, quite frankly. Trust, yeah.
You talked earlier before you got into the business,
Mhm.
you couldn't keep your mouth shut when you saw horror stories. What
Yeah,
did you see? And what were the consequences to the clients if you didn't keep your mouth shut?
yeah. When a builder or renovator was wanting to cut corners and save money, and there's so many places you can do that. When you put a home back together, everything's hidden by drywall, and so you can hide how you frame, you can hide how you run wires, you can hide how you run the plumbing, and I just I couldn't stomach some of the stuff that people tried to hide, and it was hard just being part of it. If you kept quiet, like if you keep quiet, if you see something going sideways and you keep quiet about it, you're essentially an accomplice, if you will. So I had a hard time being quiet about it, and that did me a disservice in many of these relationships when I was a sub trade framer working for builders. And I'm not suggesting that every builder's awful and not good at what they do. There are a number of great builders and renovators out there, but it's the few bad eggs that creates the awful name for us all. And those are the ones that I had a hard time just keeping quiet about. I just found it a better fit for breaking out on my own and managing projects from A to Z. But great question.
What could be hidden in the dry walls? And how could a homeowner know if something is hidden there?
Um, well, if I could just take you around to the job sites that we're working on right now, I would say electrical is probably the most dangerous, because if electrical isn't connected correctly, or if old electrical is not connected to new electrical accurately, there's fire hazards, and houses burn down every day because of poor electrical. So when you do electrical properly and you get the right permits to do it, you use a licensed electrician. That's a big worry out of your hair. Plumbing is probably the next one. If your plumbing fittings are not perfectly aligned, or your vents are not run correctly, then water may not drain down your sink. I don't know if you've seen a poorly draining sink, and that's all about proper venting. You can have slow leaks in plumbing pipes behind walls that will create mold over time. You have to make sure that your ductwork and HVAC is moving air adequately throughout your home, so your air remains healthy and not stagnant and stale and possible mold contamination. So there's a structure you can hide behind, improper structure you can hide behind drywall. There's a myriad of things that drywall hides. And once the drywall's up, everything looks pretty and done, but you don't want the bones of your house to be lacking, for lack of a better word.
You talked about mold. How could we make our homes healthier?
Hmm. Um, well, try to. I mean, healthy is a relative term, but endeavor to choose finished products that are low VOC, and that simply means they emit less gases after they're installed. So whether it be paints or floor finishes or tile or cabinet finishes, so look for that low VOC terminology and verify that it is true. Um, Make your home, if you're going to make your home airtight with, there's a lot of unique insulation products on the market now. Consider um, ventilating the air with the outside, recirculating the air with outside air to bring fresh air in. um, what else can be done? um, Ensure that when mold is found, whether it's in the walls or on the ceilings, that you remove all of it. Ensure that in older homes, when you find asbestos, that you abate it properly. Um, so don't hide any of the problems that are lurking behind the drywall. That's probably my best advice.
Is trades work and renovations work a good career for some of the young Stouffville residents?
Oh my goodness, yes, yes. I'm biased, of course, but um, I think anybody who knows how to work with their hands just has a more fulfilling life. And sounds like a terribly biased statement, but I really believe that. I think the need for any tradesperson in the coming years is only going to increase. So the supply and demand of it is will be in your favor, whether you choose to be an electrician or a plumber or a framer or a drywaller or a tile setter. There's so many different streams you can take. We work with a number of co-ops from the local high school, and some work out great, and others don't. But the ones that do end up taking on summer jobs. One recently just became full time with us, and she started as a co-op and stuck with it and made a go of it, and now she's 18 and she can frame. She knows how what the tools are. She can fix plumbing. She can do mild electrical, and she's 18 years old. Just imagine what she'll be like when she's 28. So I highly recommend it as a great skill set to have. And it's no day is the same. It doesn't get boring. So I highly recommend it. Yes.
What do you enjoy most about being a renovations contractor?
It's a tough um, first and second, enjoying the most between the people that I get to meet. And when we build relationships with homeowners, these sometimes become lifelong friends. Of course, the people that I work with, whether it be employees or sub trade partners, I also consider them friends. So, um, uh, at the top of the list would be the relationships that are forged through this type of work. And then probably a close second or sometimes a first, it would be watching a new project come together. There's nothing more fulfilling than seeing something that was nothing and turn into a home that people enjoy and live in and love each other in. So just seeing what's possible with your two bare hands is very fulfilling.
Trevor, thank you for joining us at Bullet Point News today.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
Have a great day.
You too. Take care.